What's up, everybody, and welcome back to TarHeelIllustrated.com, or if you're watching on our YouTube channel, Tar Heel Illustrated. I'm THI staff writer Jacob Turner, and joining me, as he always does, THI publisher Andrew Jones. And Andrew, we're here for the 6th episode of our Carolina Football ISO series. If you haven't seen the other videos, after this one's done, just click our channel below. You'll see a playlist on there where you can check those out. And, of course, stay tuned for the ones we've got rolling out over the next couple weeks as well. But AJ, before we dive into it, go ahead and head over to our website, TarHeelIllustrated.com. Sign up for our premium access, premium boards, just $8.33 a month. A ton of stuff that we put on there never gets posted on the front as a story or an article or whatever. There's a lot of content in there that you can only see and find if you're signed up to our premium boards. And like we've talked about a lot in these as well, 99% of our recruiting stuff is on there as well. So I know we do post some recruiting stories on the front, but a lot of the stuff that Dina King does in terms of football recruiting and that David Siss does in terms of basketball recruiting, you can only find on the board. So, I mean, it's just a great time, especially during the off season with all the recruiting stuff going on, all the recruiting trips that we're taking and going to be taking to different tournaments and whatnot. Definitely a great time to sign up over there and get access to that. So yeah, after the video is done, head over there for just $8.33 a month and sign up. But AJ, let's dive into this one, man. We're here to talk about Eugene Asante, a guy that has seen limited reps in his time at Carolina so far because, well, he was playing behind the likes of Jeremiah Gemmel, who we've talked about in the previous one, a fantastic player for the Tar Heels, and Chaz Surratt as well. So he's going to get his shot this year. He got his shot in the Orange Bowl last season and also played in some other games as well. He's also been a big special teams guy for them, but really looked good in that Orange Bowl game. I think that may have changed the opinions of a lot of people in terms of Carolina fans. I think it kind of reaffirmed our opinions on Asante from what we had been hearing from the coaches that, okay, this guy can play at this level and can be a good linebacker at this level. Little bit different of a role now because he's probably going to be a starter alongside Gemmel on this line. Little bit more of a pressure to perform on a week in, week out basis. But from what we saw from Eugene Asante during the spring, in the spring game as well, in the Orange Bowl going back to last year, I don't think there's really any reason to believe that Asante can't get it done on a consistent basis this season. I know for me, I'm kind of looking forward to see the strides that he takes as a player, maybe at the midpoint of the season. From what he is at the beginning to what he is then, I think is going to be super interesting.
63 plays, snaps against Texas A&M, 10 tackles, made an impact, very few mistakes, graded out well. And that's against the number 5 team in the country that's physical, block well. They block linebackers well. So he had to fight off big guards that were able to get out there and not just shade a linebacker, but actually engage and block a linebacker, turn him so they could have success. A&M had a lot of success running in the fourth quarter of that game. A lot of that was because Carolina kind of tired up front, maybe even tired a little bit at linebacker. More depth will be a positive across the board for the Tar Heels this year. And if we see Asante in the 60 snap range instead of the 75 or 80 snap range, we might see a better player. They told us last year that they were hoping that Gemmel and Surratt would be in the 60 snap range. They would be more effective as a result. But Jay Bateman admitted that he had such a hard time taking those guys off the field. We didn't get to see as much of Asante. Because remember what the book was on Asante last August, coming from Jay Bateman himself. He's really good. He's good at play. Well, he played intermittently until that last game. And again, I kept telling people in December, hey, guys, these dudes opted out. This is not a bad thing. You want them in this game if you want to win. It's going to help North Carolina defeat Texas A&M, or at least enhance their chances of beating Texas A&M. But the 21 team, which has a chance to be special, is going to benefit from those guys not playing and the staff getting a chance to see someone like Eugene Asante play 63 snaps and he ended up recording 10 tackles, played well. Eugene has admitted that it made his confidence explode. Mac Brown and some other players have said that he's carried him, and Bateman said he's carried himself differently this offseason because suddenly he's got a little been there, done that going on. And I talk a lot about, I say that expression a lot because that's so valuable in football.
Oh, yeah.
In other sports, it's maybe not as much, but in football, every game rep you get, live speed, the physicality of the game, having to be able to think and pre-snap at a very high level, which can never be totally in practice, you can't actually simulate that in practice the same way,
yeah.
is so valuable. So Asante got all that, and he played well. I don't think there's any concern that he's going to be a really good player for them this year, especially because they have guys behind him that they could play and keep him fresh every once in a while. He may still get an opportunity to watch the game some, which is always value to that when guys take a break for a series and they actually watch what a team's doing, especially if they're struggling a little bit. So like Gimmel, really, really, really smart guy, amazing athlete, maybe faster and quicker than Gimmel, maybe more like Chaz was. In fact, some people might tell you that he's a little faster sideline to sideline than Chaz was.
That, yeah.
And he's sort of a heat-seeking missile. So Chaz was still learning instincts. At times, Chaz took himself out of plays because he was still learning. Eugene Asante has been a linebacker for a long time. He's a built linebacker, especially a modern-day guy. So I expect that he'll hit the ground running in the Virginia Tech game. He'll have a lot of success. I think North Carolina's in really good shape at linebacker. I don't think it's a question mark. I think they're perfectly fine with the starters, and they have more talented depth behind those guys than they've ever had since I've been covering this program, since the late 90s. So they're in really good shape there, and Eugene Asante is a big reason why that group is in really good shape.
Yeah, and credit to Eugene Asante for, sticking around and waiting for his opportunity. I mean, we've seen it a ton this year, especially. Obviously, it's different with the transfer portal. That wasn't here in previous seasons. But for him to just stick around, play behind the likes of Gimmel and Surratt, and really just see a lot of not see a lot of reps when he at the linebacker position, I should say, with those two guys in front of him. But, he's a prime example, I think, of a guy that was patient, performed on special teams, and when he got that opportunity in the Orange Bowl, he took advantage. We've seen guys in the past in any sport you watch. I'm a big soccer fan. I see it in soccer all the time. Young guys get their opportunity, don't necessarily take advantage of it or impress. You don't really see them that much anymore. But big credit to Eugene Asante for not only sticking around and learning from those guys, but like I mentioned, really showing out when it came to it in the Orange Bowl.
You could get to the NFL without playing right away.
No, yeah.
You've got to learn. Look, the NFL has no patience. I covered the Panthers for a few years. The NFL has no patience. All right. So if you can't help a team right then and there, you're gone. So the guys that learn in college, the Eugene Asantes that study, and he was playing behind a couple of NFL guys anyway. So there's only room for 2 middle linebackers on the field at one time. He did start the Virginia Tech game, which the Hokies came in with a really good running attack. That Khalil Herbert was off to a great start, and Carolina was having some issues at nickel at the time, and Asante sort of filled that role some in that game. But you could get to the NFL buying your time in college, learning the position, learning the speed of the game, developing greater instincts, and then being ready when your opportunity is called on. There are a lot of dudes in the NFL that played extensively 1 or 2 years in college, but they have NFL bodies, NFL minds. It just takes time to become an NFL type guy.
Yeah, it's a great point, AJ. I love that you kind of made that point about you don't have to, start all 4 years in college and be a superstar all 4 years to make in the NFL. If you can buy your time, and we've mentioned it before, but learning in front of a guy like Jeremiah Gimmel and Chaz Surratt, not too bad guys to learn from. I wouldn't think so. Yeah, big credit to you for Eugene Asante for not only sticking around, but like I said, taking advantage of that opportunity when he got it. But I think it's a good place to wrap this one up, man. It's going to do it for the 6th episode of our Carolina Football ISO series. Like you heard me say in the beginning, click the description below, head on over to our website, TarHeelIllustrated.com, and sign up and get a premium account for just $8.33 a month. And if you're a diehard Carolina fan, if you're a big Carolina fan, which I'm assuming a lot of you guys are, if you're watching and watching this series and watching our YouTube channel extensively, I don't think you'll regret signing up over there. So I've been Jacob Turner. He's been Andrew Jones. You guys know the drill. I've said it many a times. Like, share, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.